Yo, all right, we made it. We made it down to the water, Fort DeSoto. For now, one of my pontoons of this platform pontoon boat is a full-size 14-foot canoe. Now, over time, as I design the correct storage bin pontoon and get it really good, the storage bin pontoon is going to replace the canoe, and maybe I'll sell the canoe or just keep it outside of my house because that seems fine for now, and just use it as a canoe and stop using it as a part of my pontoon boat. So eventually that's going to get replaced with more storage bins, so 2 storage bin pontoons. I just need to get the buoyancy and displacement calculated and the strength of them really solid before I want to build an entire boat out of just storage bins, wood, straps, and like hose clamps. Which it's possible. I'm using the canoe as one of the pontoons, then using another as the storage bin pontoon has really given me faith that you could easily take the canoe and put in another storage bin pontoon and you would be just fine. Yeah, so at first I wasn't sure about that. Didn't want to sink. Now I've done a trip with this once before and it worked really well, so I'm gonna set it up today and you guys are gonna kind of get a look at how the setup goes down and how she goes. There's the canoe base. There are the bins that are gonna form the pontoon. There's all the wood slats that are gonna form the pontoon, and the platform is gonna sit on top of everything. So yeah, and then here's this huge pile of gear: straps, oars, battery, motor, food, seating, everything. All right, so step 1 is you just lay the buckets on the bottom slat. All right, so now you can kind of see it take shape. So I put the tarp on top, so it's like a long strip of tarp laid over the top, and the 2 top slats are now just weighing it down. This is the basic pontoon as it stands. There are definitely improvements to make. Show you a little bit more of the detail. So the top 2 rails, I went with a single top rail and attached it to the rest of the boat, and it wobbled really badly. So I took that board, ripped it down with a saw, split it in 2, using these little spacers to make sure they stay there when the straps really start hammering down. It keeps them where they are. And then these cross pieces have 2 attachment points, and it's much more stable, and it doesn't swing side to side and stress out the hose clamps really hard. We finally have the 2 pontoons lined up with each other and the cross beams laid out. I've got 1 hose clamp currently locked down right now. All right, so finally got all of the, what are these called, hose clamps on the pontoon. You see I kind of alternated the direction to add to the stability. These are humongously long hose clamps holding down the deck to the struts or beams, cross beams. And then as you see, I've attached each of the cross beams. And then as you can see, each of the cross beams is attached to a thwart in a parallel fashion, and then double kind of oppositely attached in a perpendicular to the top rails, I guess I'm gonna call them, of the pontoon. And I use the square to make sure the deck is on and the cross beams are on square. The canoe is a wash. You can't square the canoe because it has a contoured angle, but you use the rails and that as a square and it works okay. The difficult thing to tell is if the tips of the boat are pointed toward or away from each other. And I guess toward each other is slightly preferable hydrodynamics wise. This is a screwdriver with a, I don't actually know what the measurement of this is. I think it's like a 5/8 socket. And I believe that's the 5, I think. I don't know. It's maybe 3/8, I don't know really. And it's the perfect size for all the hose clamps. So I use that to really crank down. Here it is. It's an absolute beast. It's pretty heavy. It's cocked-eyed, leaning sideways, and it's time to drag it out into the water, trying not to fuck up the straps of the pontoon. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We're gonna pull it out into the water, anchor it, then put stuff on it, and then head out, attach the motor, and go to some of these awesome islands and beaches that you can see in the distance. A full 2 hours after arriving, so unload and assembly, 2 hours. We're finally ready to go out with the trolling motor, solar powered battery. I'm not even ready, honestly. Still have to lay out the solar panel, got a little chair, set up a paddle. Just a couple more little details before I'm ready to leave. So yeah, 2 hour setup. Not the biggest fan of this, but super ready to go explore this. And the beach is completely empty. Everything I brought to the beach is now on the boat, and we're ready to smash. And yeah, we'll check out some sweet shit, and let's get into it. Alright, here we are on the boat. The boat's loaded, we're floated. Okay, how sick is this setup? Okay, trolling motor mounted to a beam on the canoe itself. That's handy. Solar panel goes to the battery, which also goes to the motor, of course. Okay, we are finally set up properly. Trolling motor set, solar panels directly in the sun. Spilled the coffee everywhere. Massive coffee spill, but it's all good. Not a big deal. I'll be dry in like 10 seconds, literally. The wind and the sun are just cooking it off, and it's not even what I would call hot. It's actually somewhat chilly. Still got my wet feet and sandals, and that's a little uncomfortable, so I'm gonna put my shoes back on because I'm on this beautiful freaking deck. Yeah, there's a bunch of coffee, but once that dries out, it'll be a wonderful place to just have shoes and socks on and not have any other than spilling beverages. You will not get incidental water on your feet. So the motor is weak, so we get kind of bullied around by wind at times. There's no real rowing system. You can push pull it. There's no real paddle that would work. You'd have to run back and forth to paddle this thing side to side. And yeah, so it's a little goofy, but you know, it is what it is. It's cool, and what it is fun, cool, and fits in my apartment and fits on top of my car, and that is the overall goal. So my thought was this: come here. This is the back where the motor and the battery sit. At the ends, so there and there, screw in eyelets or gunnels or whatever they call them, metal circle or semicircles that you could set oars in. You would stand back here, and standing or sitting, row essentially was the thought. But obviously I haven't done that yet, so I'm kind of, it's always a sick time. And yeah, because of that, I want to kind of upgrade from paddlecraft to craft where, right, you can board it, stay on it, and exit it without ever thinking about getting wet or dealing with big waves or worrying about things like that. Just like truly stable comfort craft, large scale multi-person recreational relaxation leisure craft that you can also completely break down, store in your house, and carry on top of your car. No trailer, no boat slip, no whatever marina slot or boat storage or anything like that. And the idea is, yeah, kind of give people, tinker with it enough till I get it right and I've got this system down, and then kind of publish a freeware thing showing people how to do it themselves. And then that's pretty much the overarching mission of this channel, pretty much. And then from there, who the freak knows what you could do. Challenges with the craft, see how far you can take it, see what types of things it can handle, take it to the point where they actually do break apart. Different stuff we can do once we finally actually develop the design through some trials and errors. So this is the very first prototype of just one storage bin pontoon, and it works pretty well and it's really strong. So now the next step is to improve it and then make a full boat out of just 2 storage bin pontoons, no existing kayak or canoe base for the pontoon. And once we see that a storage bin pontoon is perfectly strong, excellent, and works as an amazing portable, storable boat base, then once you get that, the sky's the limit. You know, copy, paste, do whatever, develop it in all these different ways. And so I'm really excited. We can kind of then play with formatting, like make these huge freaking versions, like these tri-tune, double, triple deck things, like you just go absolutely crazy with the modular nature of it. And so yeah, if that's interesting to you, stay tuned, and we'll just keep developing this modular, storable, portable boat system, the bin boat. I don't know what the hell we're gonna call it, but yeah, drop a comment, like, and subscribe if this type of thing is interesting to you. So as you can see, we have all the finer things in life. Bottle of champagne, some OJ. Drink a little bit of this down, pour some of that in there. You got this big thing of mimosa. Water bottle's disgusting because it has coffee stains, splatters on it. Alright, we just freaking landed on this crazy island. Check out the boat, looking comfy, dude. It's a solid, defined trail and a freaking campfire. This is sick. Hope no one, not disturbing anyone. Little trails here and there. Nice little camp. A little bit of wreckage. Dude, and we're in freaking paradise. You get the boat set up, you get the champagne in your stomach, and all of a sudden, the mimosa, all of a sudden it's just like, wow, dude, this is life right now. You're just living, experiencing nature. Look at... All right, here we are, pulling up to shore. Beautiful sunset. So my battery pretty much completely crapped out. Yeah, oh, let's get this beautiful sunset. Nice. Yeah, so I had to just beast that one in, and now I'm pretty much in safe waters. Stability wise, all the connections and joints, hose clamps and straps all stayed in place very nicely. The pontoon stayed in place very nicely. So I'm really happy with that. The propulsion system is weak. All right, here's a big moment. Let's see how much water got into these bins. Oh, snap. Okay. A lot of water got on the bin, that's for damn sure. Like a little beat up there. Not too beat up on the sides. Dry as a bone, even some sand and dust in there for good measure. I thought that was a crack, it's just a piece of grass. Another one. Some dings and dents, but dry as a bone. Let's see. Some more bigger dings and dents, but dry as a bone. There's like one single drop. And then let's see about this end, the end. That's just, that's polyurethane. Dried on there from when I was polyurethaning things. Dry as a bone. It's amazing. I'm in love with it. That's awesome. But yeah, drop a comment, like, and subscribe if this type of thing is interesting to you.